This episode is brought to you by Microsoft Azure. Turn your ideas into reality with an Azure free account. Get everything you need to develop apps across cloud and hybrid environments, scale workloads, create cloud-connected mobile experiences, and so much more. Discover what you can create with popular services free for 12 months. Learn more at azure.com. That's AZURE.com. And sign up for a free account to start building in the cloud today.
School is back, and Dick's Sporting Goods has what you need to win your year. We've got everything from cleats to Sambas, dunks, and more. Plus, the hottest looks from Nike, Jordan, and Adidas. Find your first day fits in-store or online at dicks.com.
You kind of have to look at it as shooting threes in basketball, right? Like when the Golden State Warriors had a roll and they were shooting 40% from three, they were scoring a lot of points and winning a lot of games. And I think that's a way to create explosive plays. You got to take those shots. You have to understand you're not going to make them all, but you have to have the confidence to throw them down there. And you just have to instill that in your kids, that just because you missed one doesn't mean it's the end of the world. We're going to do it again, and we're going to go win.
Today's episode is presented by Vertical Raise. Elevate your team's fundraising to new heights with their innovative platform and process. Link to Vertical Raise is in the show notes. Terence Archer joined the staff at Delaware in December 2021 and was promoted to offensive coordinator before the 2024 season. During his time at Delaware, Archer played a big role in the team's consecutive playoff appearances and in developing the passing offense, which ranked 22nd nationally in 2023. Before Delaware, Archer spent 8 seasons at Sam Houston, where he helped the team to a national championship and multiple Southland Conference titles. On today's episode of our season series, we focus on early season preparation and establishing an identity based on the personnel strengths of the offense. We talk about the keys to developing identity and explosiveness, and be sure to stay tuned for our Winning Edge takeaways following the episode.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
On today's episode of the season, the focus is on offense, and we're going to talk about establishing who we are as an offense. And joining me to discuss that is the assistant head coach, wide receivers coach, and pass game coordinator at Delaware, Terence Archer. Coach Archer, it's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
So, Coach, establishing who we are early in the season, finding that identity is very important. We usually have an idea going in. We went through spring ball, we went through camp, but we haven't tested those theories yet. So there's still some things to be proven out there in the early season. Overall, going into that, what kinds of things are you looking for as a coach to say, hey, this is who we are?
Yeah, what we want to establish offensively, kind of our philosophy at the University of Delaware. There are certain things that we're going to harp on, obviously starting in spring ball and summer and leading into the early part of the season. Those things for us are, number one is ball security. If you come to a University of Delaware practice, you will hear that coached very hard and often. And the great thing is that our kids have really bought into it, and you'll hear the kids coaching their peers on it as well. So we want to establish that. Turnovers is the number one stat for us. If we don't turn the ball over, we have a great chance of winning the ball game. And number two for us is, when really kind of what our offense with Coach Carty is based on, is creating explosive plays. So we want to make sure that whether it be pass game, run game, whatever it is, our guys understand that, they have confidence in that, and they know that if we have an explosive play on a drive, our percentage of scoring touchdowns go way up. So those are the first two things we want to establish as kind of who we are. Obviously, other things, we want to never go backwards on offense. We want to be great on third down, and we want to be great in the red zone. And those things we establish in practice early because we do them every day. So we'll make sure we have third down scripted in practice every day, and we'll make sure we have red zone situations scripted in practice every day. And I think as a coaching staff early in the season, you just have to discuss and understand who your key guys are and who you want to get the ball to early and need to get the ball to early.
Definitely. I know you mentioned explosives in there, and talked a number of times on this podcast about Mike Ayer's study with the Green Bay Packers, and you're more likely, obviously, to score if you have one explosive in a drive. If you have two, that percentage goes up greatly. But if you have none, you're stalling out a lot. So creating those explosives are important. Certainly want to find ways in the run game. You as the pass game coordinator, I'm sure you're looking for those opportunities all the time. So early season, as you're getting into looking at, okay, this is our group. This is the personnel we have. What's your approach to helping in that process and to help create those explosives?
Yeah. I think to create explosive plays in the pass game, I think you have to have a commitment to throwing the ball down the field. And that may sound simple, but it's something you've got to practice every day. It's something you have to be okay with taking those chances, whether it be on an RPO where you're converting something outside and you take a shot, or play action shot down the field, whatever it may be. You kind of have to look at it as almost like shooting threes in basketball, right? Like when the Golden State Warriors had a role and if they were shooting 40% from three, they were scoring a lot of points and winning a lot of games. And I think that's a way to create explosive plays. You got to take those shots. You have to understand you're not going to make them all, but you have to have the confidence to throw them down there. And you just have to instill that in your kids, that just because you missed one doesn't mean it's the end of the world. We're going to do it again and we're going to go win. So establishing and committing to throwing the ball down the field, and then also getting the quarterback out of the pocket, getting receivers and tight ends involved in the screen game to create explosive plays. Doesn't have to be a deep shot, but that will help set everything up.
Would love to hear a little bit more in your role as the passing game coordinator, how you're looking to integrate what you do with the run game, because obviously those things don't exist in separate silos. Those things have to come together. So what's your approach with that?
Yeah, just working closely with Coach Carty and Coach Rogers, our offensive line coach, who's our run game coordinator. So actually now I'm the offensive coordinator. Coach Goldrich now actually has the title, our quarterbacks coach, of pass game coordinator. So we really do a great job, I think, as a staff, collaborating and making everything work, because it's a different, our head coach, Coach Carty, calls the plays. So as an offensive staff, we have to make sure we work together well and we get Coach Carty everything he needs to basically finalize the game plan and his call sheet to be confident on Saturdays. So Coach Rogers, our offensive line coach, Coach Carty and myself we've been working together this will be our 7th year together. So just marrying up the protections with our pass concepts, with our run game, making sure we don't have too much, I think is a big part of it, and practicing what we're going to run, which I think we do a good job of. So you want to have pass concepts that are consistent for your guys. We try not to have too many, but we do try and run them out of a lot of different formations, different motions, different splits to make it look different to the defense, but hopefully keep it pretty simple for our guys.
So looking at developing that identity with your players, you gave us some of the things you're looking at as the coach, but how does that work with them? How do they start to understand this is who we are?
I think, it's the reps understanding and us as coaches setting an expectation of what we want our offense to be. And we do that in camp. We have team meetings on who we want to be and what's important to us, whether it be statistically or mindset-wise, who we want to be. And we set expectations with our offense, that how important explosive plays are, how important ball security is, how important third down and red zone is. In coaching, you're going to get what you emphasize. So I think you got to pick out a couple things each year on really what and who you want to be and emphasize that to your guys every day and be consistent with it. Whether it be ball security or running the ball or protecting the pass or whatever those things are for you, I think you pick them out early in the season. You're direct with your guys. Hey, these are the things that are important to this offense. This is what's going to make us successful. This is how we're going to have a plan. This is how we're going to do it. And just constantly reinforce that every day. The worst thing you can do is say something early in the season and then not follow through with it.
And looking at the guys you have on the field, the personnel groups, how does that evolve for you to really identifying those top groups that are going to be on the field the most and how you're going to use them?
It's all competition. Our job as coaches is to bring in as many talented football players as we can. The best guys we can get in every year, especially now with the way college football is and how transient the players are coming and going every year. Competition, our best guys are going to play. And once you're at a place, you can kind of establish, hey, we're an 11 personnel team. We're going to recruit for that. And you're going to have guys in those positions, hopefully, that you want out on the field and you feel good about. And that's what we are. So we're going to recruit that way and have those guys ready. In other places I've been, we've been more 10 and 20 personnel because those are the guys we had. Those are the guys we recruited. But so we're going to recruit for that personnel. And then once everybody's there and established, can the guys go out and make plays in practice and create that competition and get as many guys in each room at a high level competing with each other? And our guys know, obviously, the best guys are going to play. So I think we've done a good job developing that and emphasizing that in the off season. We'll have days in the off season that are just competition days, and guys got to compete against each other in all kinds of different things. So that's kind of how we establish that in each position group.
As you've mentioned, Coach Carty calls the offense on game day, but looking at the role you play as the pass game coordinator, what does that process look like for you on game day? In series, between series, at halftime, what's your role in that, and how do you go about doing your job to help the team succeed?
Yeah, on game day, I've been up in the box. I've been on the field with Coach Carty. We've done both. This last year, I was down on the field with him. So my job is really to make suggestions to him. Sometimes that'll happen in series, but usually with most play callers during the series, you kind of want to let them do their thing. But we've gotten to a pretty good trust level where in series I'll make some suggestions, and then him and I will get together in between series, or Coach Goldrich and I, our quarterbacks coach, or Coach Rogers and I, and go through the past series, what's working, what's not. I'll talk to Coach Carty in between series, hey, let's make sure we come back to this, or remember you wanted to get to this call early, or certain things like that. So just kind of suggesting things to him, and then also helping him, which is something he's kind of put on me as another responsibility, just helping him with game management as far as clock, timeouts, anything like that when we have the ball offensively.
Coach, I think the last thing is looking at the halftime process. You have to be very efficient with time. I know for me, I had a coach as the timer, like we had our certain amount of time to talk with our players, get together as coaches, come back out and give them the plan. How do you guys approach the halftime?
So at halftime, we'll split O&D, be in completely separate areas. So we'll kind of go around the room at first, kind of position by position if we have anything we need to talk about. And then it'll just kind of be reviewing the call sheet. Hey, this was good. We should come back to this. This isn't working. Or, hey, we want to play with more tempo. Let's get these calls in. So it's usually, in my experience, the halftime is usually pretty minor adjustments. It's not like we're going to change this or, hey, we're going to call all this different stuff. It's just kind of, hey, what's working, what's not working, what's their plan, what's the defense's plan that either, hey, they're doing exactly what we thought they would do, or, hey, they're doing X, Y, and Z now, and it's a little bit different. How should we attack it? So I think we're pretty efficient on it. Like I said, we'll kind of go around the room, and then we'll go through the call sheet. Hey, these are the couple things we want to address with our players, and then it's into the locker room to talk to our guys by position, and then coach will talk to everybody, obviously, and then we'll head back out. So, yeah, time and efficiency is important for sure, and that's how we go about it at halftime.
Coach, I certainly appreciate you taking time to share some of these ideas with us here that are definitely useful in the early season. And best of luck to you and the Blue Hens here the rest of the season.
I appreciate it. Enjoy talking to you.
Here are winning edge takeaways from our discussion with Coach Archer. 1. Establish offensive identity early. Establishing the identity sets the tone for the entire season. By developing and emphasizing core principles like ball security and explosive plays from the start, you help your players internalize their identity. This will be the foundation for the season, and you may evolve things as things change, like with injuries or players developing their skills further than they were initially in the season. You're going to have that identity established, and you will lean on that. And 2, make a commitment to explosive plays. The analytics at every level show the benefit of just a single explosive play in a drive. It starts with committing to practicing and executing explosive plays, which will significantly increase your scoring chances. You may need to find ways to manufacture those early on, but you'll start to see that you can create those with your personnel and their strengths. Be sure to check out our partner, Vertical Raise. Elevate your program's online fundraising to new heights. Use Vertical Raise's online fundraising system and raise more money in less time. Click the link in the show notes to get in touch with your Vertical Raise fundraising coach. Be sure to check out all of our partners and our 10% toolkit. The link is in the show notes.